Wanakam, my name is Arika Guinden. I was born in the 1890s in South India in what was then known as the Madras Presidency. During this time, we were under British rule. Most of the Indians in this area live in extreme poverty, especially after suffering two great famines in the 1860s and the 1890s. I had an arranged marriage in my early teens, a tradition which most Indians followed at the time. I left my parents' home and lived with my husband and his family. Not too long after, I gave birth to a son, Tambi. After his birth, our financial situation became even worse. We became very desperate for a way to support our family. Soon, the British soldiers began to tell us about this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make a large sum of money. They told us about this faraway paradise where we could go and work for more money than we had ever seen in our lives. We could go and work and return to Madras in a few years. It seemed like God had answered my prayers. I immediately decided that this was the way that we would find relief from our problem. I took my son and embarked on the journey to British Guiana. It was a 3-month voyage. The conditions on the ship was disgusting. There was no space and hardly any food or water. Many of us fell ill and died. Thankfully, my son and I managed to survive the whole trip. However, when we landed in Guyana, it was far from a paradise.
Never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money never, money never, money never, money never, money not what you gonna even money.
Our long voyage ended when we reached an area on the northeast coast of Guyana, in East Bank Demerara. We lived in a village that is now called Enmore. We were quickly forced into working on the sugarcane plantation. We lived in small, cramped living quarters called loji. The British had made fool out of us. The real reason that we were brought to Guyana was to fill the empty space left by African slaves after slavery became illegal. Even though we had the name of indentured laborer, our condition was no better than that of the slaves. Our living conditions were terrible. We were not given enough food or water. We were beaten and we were given no respect. I worked very hard to rid myself of my debt to the British. As a young woman in a community where Indian culture still ruled, it would not have been acceptable for me to live on my own. I realized that there was no hope for me to return to India, and I remarried and started a new life here in Guyana. My husband, Nalapa Guinden, was also from South India, and we both spoke Tamil fluently. My husband was a very good man. Unlike most men at the time, he did not drink, and he never treated me bad. We settled in Lusiknan and had 3 daughters, Chalama, Welima, and Tailama. My son Tambi stayed with me until he got married. My daughters all grew up and were married off here. Nalapa and I then moved to New Dam in Borbis. He worked in the rice field, and I made money by running a small shop from my home. We sold rum and cigarettes. We also raised farm animals such as fowl, duck, and pig. I sometimes sold the eggs for money. In addition, we had many fruit like mangoes, star apples, and coconut that we would also sell for money. 4 children, I had 34 grandchildren and at least 100 great-grand. Despite my so-called unhealthy habits like drinking and smoking, I lived long enough to see a few of my great-grandchildren. My daughter Tylama carried on the tradition and worship brought over from Madras by Nalapa and me. This was then passed on to her son Mahadev and her daughter Nargis. In the next generation, Nargis' son Krishan took on this worship. This worship has even been passed on to the following generation by Nargis' granddaughter and my great-great-granddaughter Devani, who currently perform religious ritual that come from Madras, including learning prayers in my mother tongue, Tamil. In this way, I am kept alive by the generation that came after me, and I know that even my great-great-great-grandchildren will know who Arika Guinden was.